again, because Lotus, how important is the mid round? We know that some of these audible calls are what win rounds. So I'll hold that thought for a moment, because Sugetsu set up with the spy cam here, a fault line in motion as well.
Oh,
swing is good, actually.
Oh,
Zipan going to find both of them. Beautiful opening here. XMS and Zace will fall.
And the question obviously then pivots beyond the initial conversation we were having to, are KC a capable team to push NAVI into those uncomfortable situations? As it stands, Scream's starting to close the gap a little here. There's only 3 of Karmine Corps alive. Shao is in rotation. And NAVI quite low, hold on.
Shin got 2 there.
He found both of them. Yes, the HP was low, but they must have lined up there. There was no way he could have snapped between both. But it's allowed for a plant to happen. Shin searching a little bit deeper towards CT.
Scream's
secures some space. This is beautiful. Hard for Zipan to isolate. Still deadly as ever, but a tough situation for Sugetsu.
Scream's got the nade back off that as well, so Navera can almost take contact here, slow things down. Scream actually burning it up early here, trying to run the clock down a little bit. The double swing comes through. Scream will seal the deal, Lauren. A 3v5 flipped in the pistol here from Karmine Corps after what was a fantastic opener from NAVI.
Let's have a watch of this again. This is the start. Precision key, Zipan, and there's that lineup. Yeah, just in front of each other.
I didn't know how he caught the second one there, but literally the one shot catches both members over towards Waterfall.
Okay, what's the buy into round 2 for Karmine Corps? Okay, so Shin and Scream both with the rifles early. They're going to supplement that a little more. Marshals there. And on the other side, Sheriffs. Only an upgrade for Sugetsu towards the armor. And a 3, make it 4-play stack. And a comfortable start for Scream. If he gets building early, we saw this in that previous game here on this very map, that he can have those blistering starts, but that's a shocker. NAVI getting a good punish now. 2 picks coming in. Those Sheriffs doing very well here. That's one of the rifles lost.
And not retrieved just yet. I'm not actually sure if anybody came for... I mean, is it just lying next to Mountain there?
It was on Scream, so I'm wondering if the observers get a second. If you think you could, we could see if it's still there. As it stands, though, we look at what's remaining. The 2 Sheriffs are tagged up in CNED and Zipan's hands, but Sugetsu's still sitting very pretty, so caution being shown by Karmine Corps. Oh,
yep, it's still there, yeah.
Got you. Behind the door as well, which looks a little bit unnerving to deal with, and that is that. Zipan is hitting today. Some very clean shots for him. Getting a little closer as well. Navera now on red alert, having to defend as the spike does go down, but outnumbered now. Can't isolate cleanly on the first, and NAVI flip the script into round 2. Showing why you got to pay these guys some real respect.
A fumble in response there. I mean, even initially, Angel challenging underneath the one way. The smokes are removed as soon as Angel falls, and on the back of that, 2 picks come through from the Sheriffs. I think, yeah, the awareness is there from CNED as well to go and retrieve that rifle that we did see.
Let's try and get it. There it is. Both rifles in hand. That.
See here in the kill feed, Shao finds this, CNED finds one at exactly the same time.
One enemy remaining.
Like you said, Zipan landing shots to shut down that A-site post plant.
I mean, it's been his show so far. 5-1 for him. What a beginning.
XMS buying back into this. I mean, Scream can afford to. I think he's obviously got a drop from Zace here, but XMS has brought down to 100 credits.
And you're going to have a battle. CNED's going to move himself up here, commit towards the wall. He's going to know there's a player nearby. It's a little messy, but he gets the job done. Assistance is there, the support in tow. He's on a one-man show, there's 3 next to him. Karmine Corps have to walk away, tail between the legs there. Did not get what they wanted.
A chance to re-clear this space at least. Potentially retrieve that rifle that was purchased by XMS. It becomes valuable inventory. Scream, we're just going to retrieve the orb here outside B. The lack of presence shown by NAVI, but I don't even know if the rifle was noted there. I mean, XMS falls with the paranoia in hand.
I don't know if he saw it. But they're still sitting very close to where it was dropped, so maybe just policing it with presence for now. Trying to show a little bit of something towards B to maybe try and draw those players away, open up the chance to regather that rifle, but we can see it. Angel's sticking around on this. He does also have CNED there, so they're going to have to utilize a lot of kit to try and just clear this close corner. CNED is forced forward. But they still can't get through that smoke.
Scream is ahead of it, though. The spam comes through. CNED
30
actually
seconds
able
left.
to get away, stunned up, but yeah. That movement speed increase actually gets him out there, but Scream will find another one to Angel. It's a 4v4 now.
Surprised Angel stuck around on this, but it's Zipan who's been exceptional. Able to connect two, calling in Sugetsu for some support, but
Spike
Navera
down
left
A.
alive on 5. But with 10 seconds
10
left,
seconds left.
the numbers aren't adding up good for Karmine Corps here. I think Navera might have to just try and
Enemy
suffer.
remaining.
Yeah, no time to be played with now.
Revealing area.
But able to at least try and walk away with something after a very rough round at the start there.
Actually brings that, I mean, Sugetsu comes away from this with 200, CNED with 400 credits. No ultimate available just yet for CNED, so let's make the purchase a little more difficult. Showstopper and Rolling Thunder already in hand for Karmine Corps, and we talked about Scream's utility usage in particular on the Raze. It's not just been raw gunpowder this week at all. It's
No.
really impressed me in that regard.
And
Also, repeated value from the Showstopper in a number of times that Karmine Corps have wanted to switch up the pace a little bit.
And having a chat with him, he was just checking in, seeing how he's going. I mean, he's been grinding Raze. He is, but you can, and it shows, right?
It definitely does, yeah.
It's just not just the mechanical side, but that capability beyond. Now, look at this space backfilled from CNED. Turret should catch it, but again, the timing on this is everything, and the pinch going to be coming in. Sugetsu's holding the line on the other side. He's going to find two, and it's going to speed up CNED. He's got to close that gap, and he does. That's going to be the spike dropped, and another target to be found. NAVI, vice-like grip on this round. No chance for Karmine Corps there.
Perfect timing as well to get behind this. Rolling Thunder slows things down. CNED able to slip into the back lines. Didn't even require that, to be honest. Karmine Corps dropping like flies outside mound. At least initially, getting a lot more confident in this composition from NAVI today. Maybe that's just results-based, but
I think to knock NAVI away from this confidence, you have to somewhat dictate it in the server from the very start. Again, if you're looking on paper, I think it was as you talked about that regular season disparity of results. NAVI were towards the top end. They were still a very good team. As much as there are faults, it's because we expect masses from them. Now, Angel's in a little bit of danger here. Could get caught off. It's actually Zipan who goes down, so they should be well aware of Angel's position. And he can only get one at this point. So there's a couple
Beautiful
of rifles
collapse.
now available for the upgrade.
yeah, great collapse on to find both kills here.
Placing alarm
Door will
bomb.
be opened. C-site wide open. Just a spike am and a trip. Holding down the fort for the time being. I think Scream actually ended up spotting the camera there, but a ton of information relayed.
Clean plant. Just about, it looks like. He's going to try and find an angle to work. Oh,
Shin!
Shin!
What a beautiful shot.
The camera's still sticking around, though, so they're getting a bit of info off this. Look at it. Sugetsu still...
is
There we go.
here.
Finally handled. But Sugetsu wants a challenge on that kind of readdress on the site when they try and work their way back up. Shin and Scream seem very aware of this. Being cautious on the way up. Can they be forced off the angle? Yes. Nice heads-up work for them. Late round utility, facilitating the plant.
30
The
seconds
first
left.
couple of steps forward for NAVI.
Spike planted.
And see Xiao creeping a bit closer here. Actually played it well. That's going to catch Scream unawares. Response is there, taking him down to 18. Sugetsu and Xiao going to have their work cut out here. So
Player
many bodies
standing.
on the site. There's XMS to catch as Xiao trying to lean a little closer. Sugetsu now a 1v4. Tricky to say the least. Karmine Corps in fine position here. Nice discipline. Loving the pace that they're able to bring into this.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the Cypher discussion here opens up many opportunities to play a much looser hold on C. Look for maybe wallbangs if one of NAVI want to play.
Ooh.
That was a beautiful reaction there on the edge of that smoke. But as I was saying, that the Cypher does open up a looser hold here to basically deny the plant, force KC into maybe a plant behind double boxes or even just an unorthodox position and throw the post plant off ever so slightly.
Change up here, going to be operator in the hands of CNED, so that's going to be into play. And a quick take towards Mound. Scream going to show presence very early on. They're not really wanting to play in towards that A side at the moment, leaving that very much in NAVI control. But we've seen some good work here from Karmine Corps, taking the rest of the map space. And still, two very critical ults still to invest on this Navera with his and Shin waiting to invest if deciding now's the time.
Wow, my eyes are
Camera,
down.
that's going to be removed, but it has shown the intent. But again, with
Ton
CNED
of
so deep,
information. Yeah, they can almost leave him up posted in a very deep anchor outside rubble, and you're almost hoping Karmine Corps are going to explore elsewhere as a third member of Na'Vi has made their way across. Zipan ready and waiting with a ton of utility to invest here.
Trying to pin down Angel, it looks like. Tag is there, he looks dead, he is. Any tag on the third? No. Actually, did he catch one? No, he didn't. So, they get the first pick off the back of the Owl drone and then the follow-up tag of that, but now we're going to look towards how they take the site. There's a lot of bodies here. All that information early on has paid off, and now going to be sent packing. The flood comes in from Karmine Corps. Sugetsu still good for 2. Holds the site and makes it trickier. Karmine Corps back down to 3, standing, but against the 2, this is rough work here for CNED. Not going to be played in much here.
Let's have the ultimate. They do want to still go for this, but Zipan burning up all of his utility. It's going to make that difficult to really initiate anything early on. Wouldn't surprise me if we see them try and hold on to this, but CNED creeping closer.
Close.
Maybe looking to swap out for a rifle or make this happen.
Oh, Zipan's dead.
Yeah, not so much now.
Hit the emergency brake, get out of there. Yeah, operator
Don't forget
back.
that.
Yeah, that's quite important. But good recovery from Karmine Corps. Let's kind of talk about this, because it felt like they were going into the site that had the stack on it, aggressively using the Hunter's Fury. Worked out well for them, finding Angel's great, but there's still a lot of bodies there to get through.
Yeah, definitely. I think as soon as that information is given up, there's a window of opportunity to explode on the back of that if you Karmine Corps, but waiting another 5 to 10 seconds almost feels a little dicey, right?
Yeah.
So it happens. It really did look like he actually got a follow-up tag as well with the Hunter's Fury
for a
after.
second, yeah, it was.
I'm curious here. I'm sort.
No.
I mean, on the observer PI, it looked like we saw a tag in the background, but nonetheless, beautiful response here to actually catch the extra body that's rotated across to the site. Not sure of Angel's utility situation there, but obviously removing the smokes and the molly to really open up that site.
We might get that playing now, that operator. Forced away early on, though. Saw that 338 rattling through the wall, so gonna maybe fall away from this.
I mean, Xiao still went forward and got the orb
which
there.
is kind of wild, right? Now, that's... Again, they're responding so quickly to this, so they pulled 4 players over towards that C site.
Missed orbital strike as well. You saw the fault line come
Yeah.
through from Zipan, I guess, on the back of the spy cam once again. No value found there.
Trying to test the waters a little bit more, Karmine Corps. They're not so kind of one-sided, it feels like. Maybe holding a slightly longer default here. Again, CNED was getting a lot of information, kind of playing late towards A. And now with this fallback, you're seeing...
It's creeping up here.
Oh, God, this is a CNED round. It has to be if he wants a chance in it, and it's a miss. He's in danger, and he can't
Punished.
get away. Yeah, huge punish. Nevera catching him on the way back out is massive. And this was the kind of
gap.
one man on the site. They put 4 players elsewhere, 3 dedicated towards A, and then 1 drifting towards B. So they do have access towards this. Karmine Corps obviously don't know how open the site is, but now with the dark going in, the smoke's going up, they're well aware. And especially with this spam coming out, but this could be a big tag. It is. XMS.
XMS gets out.
Oh, that's so... Oh, but
Scream will fall.
Ridiculous connection at the end there. XMS thanking his lucky stars. Still with a paranoia and a smoke to be brought into play very soon. This is a possible retake here for Na'Vi, though.
Now this one burned up very early on. As soon as that smoke gets popped. Cage going off here. Nevera will find a blind kill through onto Sugetsu. That's the first attempt at tapping this spike. A ton of damage done onto Angel as well, but somebody has to prevent this now. He will fall.
Yeah, they keep going. Zaichi's there by his side, and now it's just Xiao. Still clean as ever, but it ain't going to be enough for the round. Time to fall away. 3 staying alive. Karmine Corps taking the lead here.
Taking control as well.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, I was talking about their ability to slow things down really would come to full effect, I guess, in the second half of this with them starting off attacking, but a couple of set pieces from Na'Vi that just haven't found value. Karmine Corps in this situation, CNED's posted up so deep with an operator nonetheless.
Potentially caught off guard by the kind of changing of pace a little from Karmine Corps, a little bit of a longer default, I guess you could argue, kind of them drifting back towards Mound after that early contact. And again, you're looking at Na'Vi kind of using him as the 1-to-4 split, right?
Sure.
So it puts a lot on CNED, and it's almost unfairly to an extent if they are starting to shift that pace a little. Once again identified here, but a 3-play stack towards B coming out for Na'Vi now.
They forced the adjustment of the defenders, so just so happens they've been able to find some space outside rubble. Shout will deal with the turret. Already an extra body across here. Angel will invest a smoke. just to quell any further aggression for the time being. Actually, with a decent read here, Angel's already heading back across towards C site. Does have the Guardian, so it opens up that possibility of the spy cam really coming into effect. But Sugetsu in a semi-committed position, and the camera's dealt with already.
I don't think he can get out of here. Yeah, he's going to be stuck on this one. Tries to stall. Got to be careful. Does he make it away with his life? It does look like he can. Scream trying to close it down, but he gets ahead of it. A little too far ahead. No one able to help him here. The others were held back. We're going to have the attack-sided lockdown coming in. Placed down as Zeish wants to try and force Na'Vi further away from the site.
30 seconds
Potentially
left.
take some space here as well, but so they might just settle for the plant coming through. An ability to reset once again. 2 nano swarms not invested just yet. As Zeish actually has just thrown them on.
He's going to get checked, but he outdoes one. The trade's there, but XMS worth his weight in gold in this round. Pop for the off for Cena, but he has to clear the back line. The last one's Zeish the prop, boom, and he's staying standing. He can't do enough.
Tried to adjust for the dart. Unfortunately, Shao capitalizes. A split-second decision will result in Na'Vi finding their fourth. Yeah, a ton of pressure being applied, though, as Sugetsu's lucky to get away with that. I mean, he gets away from the paint shell, the drone, the fault line. None of it's able to pin him down in that position. But even then, XMS, 2 beautiful kills.
Oh, you can see it then. Shao given a chance. Tense times here between the two teams. Neither fully breaking away yet. Na'Vi still doing Na'Vi things, keeping up, but it feels like such a silly conversation we have to consistently have about Na'Vi. Is them being tied up at this sort of scoreline a reasonable affair so far? Karmine Corps are playing a very good game. They're looking very solid, but this is a team that finished towards the top end of things. Top end team of EMEA. If we're sat here at 4-4, if this was Fnatic, would we be saying, oh, that's all right?
No, I think as well it's really difficult to comment on because, I mean, I've spoken to Angel, I've spoken to Doomboss, and it's really difficult to pin down the logic. I guess it's, you know, a lot of it comes from, oh, we don't want, you know, our opponents to be able to prep for things, but...
If you ain't making it to the tournaments, what are you prepping for?
Yeah, when the Na'Vi look best is when they're relying on raw power and vanilla compositions.
They were so good at that. Yeah. I mean, the bread and butter was just perfect with them. They were that all-encompassing team who played good Valorant. You know what I mean? Like thinking man's Valorant. They had a lovely read to it. We'll see. Again, this could tilt back into Na'Vi's hands, and it looks all sunshines and rainbows, and it's wonderful. But our worries still persist. As Karmine Corps very much testing them here. Tied up. Let's see what Karmine Corps do now, as they've been presented a challenge here, as Na'Vi get themselves back into this matchup.
Camera set up here, but nothing to play off it. Already a preemptive rotation across from Shout. It's a heavy lean towards the C side of this map, and all 5 members of Karmine Corps about to reveal to the camera.
Camera taken out.
Don't look to explode off the back of that, but a big tool removed at least at the start of this round. A very cautious approach here from Karmine Corps.
And do they double pump back towards C to deal with the single player? That's what I'm interested in, because Cena often gets left as the kind of counter anchor, right?
He's not as committed this time around.
True. Playing much deeper in comparison to being dedicated to Mount. Like that little gap was enough that Navarro got him on the way back out, so...
Problem being, Zipan's going to be tested outside B, it looks like, yeah. Going to try and split through. Zipan full utility, nothing invested just yet, but the drone will spot things out. Nade will force him off the angle as well.
He's turned his attention towards the connector side rather than B main. It's opened up a space for Karmine Corps to start taking towards the site, but look how close by Na'Vi are. With 15 seconds, this becomes precarious. Scream has to try and defend this, as do the others. No one can take a glance in. They start losing out here, it would have been a problem. They get the plant down, so they can reset a little deeper, but they're staying posted.
Oh, Scream's in a very, very awkward position, but now Navarro posted up underneath him on a high-low setup. Cena and Zipan going to try and fight their way back through this, but Navarro backs away.
Ah, the drop of the smoke, Angel's got him. Navarro now going to be surrounded. He does have support on the site. That's way too messy. Na'Vi opened up a chance, and they took it with both hands. Shin overwhelmed. Clean retake there from Na'Vi.
There's just no commitment to a single engagement there from Karmine Corps.
Flawless.
And even if you get two people tucked up that close towards the backside of B's site, I'm curious as to why there's no push through. If there's no utility available, they're waiting for someone to come back off cooldown, but somebody shouldering the angle forces Navera to be backpedaling with an Odin. Scream then falls on the back of the smoke, dropping. These aren't positions that are kind of set up to receive this retake from NAVI. They're just open sight lines.
No ults quite there yet for KC. One away from the Hunter's Fury. Yes, they have XMSs, but hard to bring into effect. On the other side, actually quite close by to a couple of big uns. Early test again towards A. NAVI being proactive on this defending side, still trying to take that early space, or at least posture as though they're doing so.
The orbital strike again, we did see it thrown out previously towards Mound. Navera will actually retrieve the orb. Hunter's Fury available now. This time Karmine Corps look as if they might actually follow through with this intention towards A site. Last time being round 2, when things crumbled a little bit.
Switch up on the camp.
Thing is, it's another situation though where Zipan's not actually in a position, so this is purely info gathering. Maybe Angel looking to swing off it.
Camera taken out.
Let's see what Angel does.
But he backs up. He's got to be conscious now that he can be spammed out or util dumped inside that little cubby.
They're gonna continuing towards the A site. Okay, very, very slow progress from Karmine Corps. This isn't as pacey by any means. Now with the orbital strike, he's going to catch it. Angel takes that perfect opportunity, punishing Scream and alleviating any of that slow creeping
25
pressure.
seconds.
Yeah, they're running out of time here, and they've not cleared the site. They've got 2 more targets actively on the site here. Shao being one of them, and look what he can do to you. Rips them apart, takes away Shin, takes away Navera, and XMS and Zeish have nothing to do about this. The stall was fantastic from NAVI, way more controlled. That's the side I want to be seeing.
It takes Karmine Corps so long to actually come forward and deal with this spy cam, and then it seems like there's no call on the back of that. But that's the intention from so early on. Orb retrieved within what feels like the first 15, 20 seconds. So they're already back outside A with more than 60 seconds on the clock. See, unfortunately, that one just sails right by Karmine Corps. NAVI up to 6 now.
And the bulk of the rounds, I mean, a blessing to turn the second, but then once we've got into the gun rounds, they've really started to take a little bit more of a monopoly here. Now, see Ned, he's going to double dip on this. Dangerous. He might got himself dead here. Does he get caught by this one? Slowed down and punished. The Hunter's Fury doesn't find it, but Shao trying to slow down this pace coming out from Karmine Corps. Extremely volatile, explosive in approach. Angel scrambling to get on over. But they've won that opening fight, giving them the man advantage with above a minute on the board still to bring into play.
The first time we've really seen that as well, an ability to reset behind an opening engagement, at least ahead of a site hit. Got to be careful here. Door's going to be opened. Angel curious as to what's going on the outside, but actually finds a kill. Shin will fall here. Gets away with murder on that, and actually Navera backs up right into the sidelines of Sugetsu, and Zipan will find the final kill. This is looking again. We mentioned earlier this week there was a couple of examples of Karmine Corps slow to get into a half and struggling to really put ideas in place, and that right there is back-to-back examples. That's an early advantage created and fumbled once again.
A little bit of hesitation, it felt like. Just got caught up there, a late bit of proactive play coming out. And again, credit, I think it was Angel in towards door when that, Alvaro comes in, he just goes, okay, cool, well, one of them's busy, I'm going for the other. Brilliantly done. Again, this is starting to see a little bit of the strength of NAVI here, and Karmine Corps' weakness of maybe some of that mid-rounding starting to rear some of those issues. Now, whether or not that gets corrected going forward, we're yet to see, but it's certainly proving to be a problem. 7-4 now. You can see the little setup waiting in B.
And there's a lot of Karmine Corps bodies behind it. Unfortunately, it's going to be difficult to really follow up on this Rolling Thunder. They're still going to commit to this.
Oh, Scream! He just goes in! His screen is just an absolute catastrophe, but he still connects on it.
You should run.
I mean, really bizarre, though, because it's such a long sight line, and with no smoke from Angel at the back side of this, towards where the turret's positioned, you can't really seal them in that corridor. Lockdown invested will result in a plant from XMS.
Spike planted.
An opportunity at a post plant here to maybe draw out a 7-5 half.
Zeish's position is lovely as well. A late catch potentially could be coming in towards CNED, and they know that there's no pressure, at least coming from that deep kind of T side here. Scream, waiting for the door cross. He's going to catch Angel this time. And now we're down to the 3 on the side. Ziban, CNED, and Xiao. Xiao's position is done. Sorry, CNED's position is done. He was already wrapped up. You can see Zeish on that long lurk coming in. And now they have to clear him, and they can't. Ziban goes down, and now all on Xiao. That's a difference there. Much better tempo, much better commitment.
Way better consideration as well in what's going on around the map and where the pressure points are. Beautiful wrap from Zeish, but like I said, the Rolling Thunder gets posted here, and unless you have a smoke at the backside, I mean, there's 2, you're swinging into what maybe feels like a couple of players, but it would be so easy for somebody in a deep default to be set up behind that turret. Just be able to punish that swing.
Yeah, now...
Just so happens there's a showstopper on the other side of things.
Our thoughts aside, let's head down to Lothar with a quick break here on just the half.
Thank you, Pansy. We're gonna break down a little bit of, in anticipation of how Navi can attack on this map, we're gonna bring back the last time they played Lotus on attack. And with this raw power composition, you are expecting them to get a lot of plants and then struggle a little bit more in the post plant, right? Well, that wasn't happening the last time they played it, because out of 12 rounds, we only have 7 plants out of those 12, which is a problem. And also, the timing on those plants is a little bit late. They are typically planting in up to 30th second on the B side. But as you can see here on the map, those are the movements when they were planting on the B side and on the A side. But when they're going into the plant to C, as you can see here, they are not really doing it fast. I'm gonna show you first 40 seconds of the map when it comes to attacks on the C side. As you can see here, they are really not getting any kind of map control before they go into the plant to C. And I hope that's something that is we clearly can see in the game plan and the previous Lotus was failing at, hope to be repaired for this next half right now. Thank you and welcome, and sorry, thank you, Pansy, and take it away.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you and welcome back.
Yeah, he's a polite man. But I think that's a nice little way to kind of look at this from the Na'Vi perspective, right? But I also want to talk about what highlighted and impressed me, at least with Karmine Corps, was some of that coordination on the retakes we saw coming in on this map.
Yeah, we've seen, actually across the map, what we've seen this week, Karmine Corps lean heavily into that as something they've obviously been working on. They said we had isolated incidents of it looking okay during the season, but definitely been a cut above their previous performances here. And my concern with this composition does lie on the attack, to be honest. It's very one-dimensional, it's very all-in. Yes, you have other opportunities to cut sight lines, potentially with Sugetsu's utility,
sure, and
also obviously CNED's ability to kind of carve a path onto a site, but
not traditional methods.
It really isn't, and that's that's a tech pause.
But it does allow us to kind of dive a little deeper, because this is quite a fun test then, right? Like, let's say you've enjoyed what Karmine Corps did, but now let's see how they do it against someone like NAVI. Can they exploit that?
Okay, but just to come back to that conversation just happened, the reason that some of the other comps we see that, again, I'm all for mixing things up a little bit.
Sure.
But why does the double controller work so well? Why does the Viper Wall work so well in terms of denial of information, ability to mid-round back in, send a lurk somewhere?
Yep.
It doesn't feel as tangible with this composition, which is why I say it's a little more one-dimensional. It feels almost like, unless you're going to kind of commit to site hits and succeed time and time again, great. But this is like a first wave of util comp. It's not like you have many options outside of ultimates and, you know, mollies and stuff in the post plant, potentially also shock darts, the Hunter's Fury, but kind of plays to where Karmine Corps are probably going to want to take the game, to be honest.
So where would that switch then come in? Is it purely a Neon problem on this map?
No, I don't think Neon is the issue. I've actually liked the mix-up of the duel. Yeah, sure, I think you have a lot more options with breaching arrays or a fading arrays in terms of denial of space, especially towards some aggressive plays towards rubble, for example. I'm fine with the Neon.
So you just rather have maybe a Viper, something else? Is that what you're asking for here? If you got to pick,
it just feels like the Brim becomes the issue. The solo control of Brim feels the most awkward in this comp.
And I think I'm going to keep my eyes on it. I think that's a really nice thing we're going to try and check back in on as this game develops. So does that become a problem, right? It's very easy to theory craft. We get to see it in actuality now.
If the executes are great, they can find kills on the way in, they can find clean plants. Absolutely, there's a chance here. Actually, once you get into your ult cycle, the Hunter Fury comes in, the orbital strike, you have the molly lines up, you have the aftershock. There are options, sure.
Lots of caveats to the conversation.
Yeah,
if, let's say, this very direct approach doesn't get threatened or pressured, then they'll have a great time. As we can see for now, they've done wonderfully at that. They've got the A site under complete control, but that's no surprise knowing that Karmine Corps have been sitting back a little deeper. Look at what they've got left.
Yeah, Shin full utility, paint shell available, paranoia, probably just waiting for a second smoke to come back up for XMS, or maybe not even that actually, with the Owl Drone coming through with the tag.
Paint shell posted, paranoia gone, and now they commit. It's going to be Scream to clear the first, but the response is there. NAVI are no slouches at this. Digging in deeper, leaving just one alive. That is much better from NAVI.
There are options as well, the other side of this composition. If, you know, off the drone, we can find a stun from Zipan, and Cena can close the gap, and Na'Vi just death ball towards that confirmation. Or a site is left wide open, Cna's able to find deep space, and that first wave of utility coming back from Karmine Corps is kind of mitigated, then sure, we come down to gunfights, and that's another conversation we have about Valorant time and time again.
Get off Reddit, get off Twitter. You don't get to bring that up to me at 8 to 5.
No?
Nah, not allowed.
Seems on topic at the minute.
Oh. We're looking at the buy. We're going to have 3 rifles, Zipan, CNED, and Xiao. 2 of the pistols remaining Angel. And to get to on the other side, 1, 2, 3. 3 sheriffs to hand for Karmine Corps. So, again, we're looking at the orbs being collected, the ult progress, anyone they want to post up early or try and invest into early. Obviously, CNED would be lovely to have there. As it stands, we do see a stack coming out from Karmine Corps as well. 4 dedicated towards that C site, and you can see the patience and discipline being displayed by NAVI.
Yeah, NAVI actually anticipating Karmine Corps going exploring here. I have a setup here for the fault line. I'm not sure exactly how deep that, but probably towards the choke point at least. Camera dealt with here, and Zaysh will be identified, and NAVI creeping as if they want a challenge.
Tempted on this? Was that all a bit of bait? Sugetsu probably willing to do it. He's only got the ghost, and he cleanly gets one. But yeah, with the X-ray on, there's a bigger problem. But Sugetsu is so good! This guy's a monster! That was all a trap, and somehow he becomes the biggest issue. How's he done that?
I mean, as soon as the spy cam's actually invested there, you think that's probably going to be the catalyst for Karmine Corps to actually instigate that crunch, but Sugetsu just walks out, finds 4. I don't know how he's found the final kill there, to be honest.
That was mad. I could watch that one back.
I mean, XMS creeps up as well, which means the fault line can't come through. It's going to stun him on mound. So maybe that's the reason Karmine Corps don't decide to commit to that, but like an inevitability for the second round to be going in favor of Na'Vi.
Oofed.
Rifle removed, though. It's big upgrade for him.
Yeah.
It's a big win at the end of this round here for CNED to be found, isolated, and
1 out of the 3 rifles taken away. Hey, silver lining, especially when you just had that man pop off and rip your heads off. Can't
drop
wait
a
for
rifle,
the
give him
replay.
a ghost again.
Yeah, please, just leave him on it. Here we go, let's watch this one from start to end, because this is just not how it's meant to go, right? There is no stun, there's nothing else to follow. An isolated fight, a late investment of it. Bloody hell, the shot of Vera.
Yeah, that's
Come
disgusting.
on. Come on. Magic from him there. This is a big round now. Oh, he's not pretty, XMS. Gonna be suffering a little here. And it looks like a pace change. Na'Vi, quicken a little. At least with an indicator towards that B site. Whether or not they commit is yet to be seen. Does Cena get to survive? Angel, a wild swing from him. I don't know what he wanted to achieve with that.
Smoke's removed now, so Na'Vi have to potentially rely on kills to come through in this round. So you get to show to the drone, but dealt with nice and early. Will deny any further information on the back of that. Zipan spike in hand, looking to regroup, and Karmine Corps slipping down the rope. We'll put 2 members on site here. Screen will drift back into spawn a little bit.
This could be a nice lurk from him if he gets activated in it. Maybe re-explore towards B, try and pull him into a little bit of play, try and facilitate some room here.
The problem being, if on any sound cue elsewhere, do they assume Xiao has peeled away from this as well? Smoke will go out to slow things down even further outside B. Actually, there's Killjoy set up behind this as well.
Getting a little low on time to add to injury. They are going to get access here. CNED will get ahead of it.
30
Not
seconds
been
left.
played in yet. Going to start hearing some of these steps here. Unrevealed.
It's not going to get checked.
Yeah, shout from the shadows. Oh, it's not as good as you'd want, but he should be set up for the second he is. Really nice crunch from him there. Brings us back down to a favorable situation in Navi's hands with the 4 still standing against the 3. And Scream's damage early on becomes a problem. Sugetsu gets played in as well. XMS falls. Yes, it's a trade, but again, the numbers are so good for Navi.
Of course, the Xiao just doing way too much damage. Being posted up there. Beautiful peel away from that. To have no smokes and still find an opportunity to leave somebody posted up and take effectively what could be a 3v3, 3v4 towards B side. And still win out on top of that.
Oof, I got a little scared then. When
Yeah.
It's just that second. Like,
I think
just
Xiao
turns
knows he's
and
done
hits it.
enough damage there to actually come through and secure that kill.
One enemy remaining.
Also in that position, the value kind of drops even further if he's then forced to lurk elsewhere, right back into spawn potentially. So at least confirmation nothing else is coming from outside rubble.
Okay, timeout. 10-5 as it stands. And Na'Vi doing exactly as prescribed. Now, a couple of our worries haven't really come to fruition yet. We haven't seen that become a problem. I think the one that scared me a little was Angel falling in that last round. But Xiao being dedicated to that deeper angle, getting posted up in that lovely little pivot. The mid-rounding from Na'Vi is still very solid. You're always going to get, feels like, good calls from them, at least, in that way.
Yeah, and even in a comp that, like I said, doesn't really suit to be honest.
No. So again, just a good read. We haven't seen any of those issues really pressed into. It's Karmine Corps being held on just 5 here. They've got to find a way back in, and they've got to do it pretty much now.
Yeah, and to be honest, in comparison, Karmine Corps actually looking a little more flat today than we have seen in the previous series.
Yeah.
I mean, Scream, yes, top of the board here for Karmine Corps, but really struggling to pin down Na'Vi.
Oh, look at the
to force CNED out, but nobody actually swinging onto the angle. XMS TP behind him. Scream does respond, will double down on it.
Is the only one to so far to try and slow this roll, and they want to commit to this even further, it felt like. Yeah, chasing them away. Maybe joining up with Sugetsu on the other side of the map, but they battled back and they're going to get at least 1, maybe 2 of those rifles. So surprise possessions to be put into the paws of Karmine Corps.
When the hell did the TP from XMS come through?
Very early on. I mean, I'm a little surprised Cena didn't check for it as well. Even for a second there. And it was just such a bizarre situation that neither really noticed.
Running the gauntlet between the full line of Page Shell and everything, but still turned for it, which is what surprised me. I don't even know if XMS managed to get on top of rubble there or was caught on the drop down.
Ooh. Re-hitting towards the bear. Ah, that's lovely.
Spike
Sharp.
down A.
That isn't good enough. Xiao answers back with a double, a third.
Oh, come on.
Xiao sees the smallest opportunity and makes it his own.
30
Spike
seconds
is on
left.
the way. That's a plant coming through. Zashbury kicking himself in. Now they know how far away he is. They can get comfy in the post plant, make him work for his dinner.
Look how deep Xiao's positioning as well towards spawn.
Still got so much kit to play with.
He's got
as well.
everything.
Yeah. Oh, man. This has been a slip up here. A perfect chance for Na'Vi to carve in 11. How's he meant to even pry these players out of these positions? So tricky.
Hang on.
That's one way to do it. A great start, but the follow-up, does he get a chance on Sugetsu trying to draw out the fire? No, look towards it, Saish! How did he just check for that? Those 2 players had all the information, all the confidence, and there's a defuse for him.
That round makes for very uncomfortable viewing. I mean, how Xiao even turns that back in their favor. A showstopper in hand. KC's still... He did actually TP up here, but gets revealed. That's when he drops off, and that's when CNED actually reacts to it. But again, the spacing behind CNED, there's nobody swinging back onto that.
Shao.
Again, this situation here, a massive advantage, and even with the showstopper, play a little deeper, play towards the choke point. PM, yeah, thanking his lucky stars that Zeish is able to clutch out a huge 1v2 and right back into the next round. Scream dead off the rip here.
Smoke's down.
And that was instant. Navera? Oh, if you want an aim fight, well, I guess we're just going to go for it. They got baited in on this one. The temptation too strong. And RV maintain the numbers. They're still sitting pretty. They got all that control towards A, but they consider their other options. This is that mid-rounding calling that we quite like from them. Unless XMS can backfill this space, or Shin maybe catching... Oh, Angel's in a bit of a predicament here. Might have to take the longer route around. He still might get spotted.
Caught on the cross here. Shin looks like he's holding on to it.
Launching smoke.
He's keeping 3 players here. This basically falls...
Oh yeah, look at Sugetsu already in the spawn.
Yeah, he's taken all our room. Sugetsu was going walkabouts halfway through this round. I guess Zeish is behind, so now it's going to be that weird situation of who looks first, Angel or him. And does Zeish even clear this? He does, and he's sharper than Angel. Okay, down to 3v3.
30 HP though, and Xiao's already slipped away to try and hold on to this. Yeah, shut down.
Really nice from Xiao, not leaving any stone unturned.
Hunter's Fury and the Rolling Thunder available here, so...
I think it's theirs.
Yeah, Karmine Corps gonna have to give this one up. They come away from this with the lockdown in the hands of Zeish. I'm not sure of Scream and Navera's progress elsewhere. Didn't actually catch how the opener happened. I thought that was just
it was just so quick.
NAVI just barreling outside of A towards rubble and able to isolate Scream. But another round where Karmine Corps kind of commit to this opening engagement, where CNED's able to actually get ahead of the timings quite easily there, more so than Scream can on the satchels.
Yeah, and Scream being kind of left in no man's hand. Here it is, let's watch this back. Yeah. Wow.
You can't actually fault Scream much for that. He's
not much you're meant to be able to do there, really.
Shouldering and catches a final blow through the edge of the wall.
Karmine Corps again. Yeah, they're trying to grip onto this game. But financially, they're starting to suffer now. It's running low.
NAVI basically have a snowball round here as well. 3 big ultimates in terms of a post plant, so they can find themselves access to a site and a clean plant.
Which they have been. Haven't seen much resistance in that regard. This is going to be an uphill round, to say the least, for Karmine Corps. This is going to need some of that magic, right? This is when you want your Scream to have your impact. You want to see Navera finding some value and then hope there's a third that joins them. These are the sort of bailout rounds that they could definitely do with them in. Because NAVI, knocking on 12 now. Very close by. This will be a big challenge to get past as well. Lessen some of that pressure. Doing this on Karmine Corps' map pick as well would certainly deal with any of the doubts.
Yeah, because I mean, their concern is we go to Ascent, and I mean, the map record there for Karmine Corps needs no introduction at all. It's a very concerning second map to come through if they do concede the first here.
Well, snowball round close on by, and it's up against a shorty, a sheriff, and 3 rifles. And the deadly duo that I was talking about, where you need that magic, don't have one of those rifles. Oh, Scream. Oh dear. Does he get to live? He does. Okay. So not able to close down on him this time. This is so pressure-based, and actually trying to get proactive here. Navera can't connect though.
The worst person to try and pin down CNED, able to...
Slippery.
Yep, evade that Hunter's Fury with relative ease. NAVI will drift immediately back towards Mound here. Try and catch a window of opportunity. XMS just now slipping away from backside of ramp, but I mean, he's got to be conscious that... Yeah, I mean, the smoke should be a big indicator.
Time to fall away. Can't challenge that one. No chance at it. Lockdown is...
But yeah, three rifles, paint shell, a couple of shock darts, and the lockdown.
No backline pressure, though, so all of those ults just become so strong. even with that lockdown, it makes very little difference for that.
I mean, they can deal with it with the auto strike or the rolling thunder here.
So
Or even
they
just
want-
come through.
And look at CNET, straight to the task. Zipan, Angel, it is a blender. Oh, as soon as he's trying to step towards the side, NAVI in fine form here. He's actually going to be forced to save this, really. There's nothing he can do to change the outcome now, but NAVI looking much stronger here, less challenged by anyone.
Even here with the financial situation, not going to matter much if Zace is able to find something. Wow, there we go. Shout wins out in the same gunfight we saw in a previous round. NAVI now on 12. Firmly in control of Lotus this time around. Karmine Corps, unfortunately, not able to string much together here. Beautiful coordination as well. The orbital strikes posted so deep. Basically at the backside of this rolling thunder. Still actually come away from that with CNED's ultimate and the Hunter's Fury, so a couple of big tools, and they've removed the one thing that Karmine Corps did have to string together, potentially a play on the defense.
And now struggling. The finance is still no better. Karmine Corps left in pieces. CNED just wants in. He's got the ult and he wants to get his name up in that kill feed. He's got the first. Screen goes down. The follow-up found. NAVI have everything they wanted. Sight is bearing their flag as the spike's going to go down. A couple of players towards CT, but they have no control towards Waterfall. There's so much under that NAVI banner. I don't know where they're meant to even find space from.
Navarre's found one here. Rolling Thunder available, but NAVI now peeling away from sight and still have the problem of Xiao being so disconnected and no backline pressure.
Look at Sugetsu. If all goes right, even to this point for Karmine Corps, Sugetsu is that slow, creeping death. Xiao going to be burning the ult towards the spike draw. Now Navarre does well, but look at that response. It's clean cut times for NAVI. Dominant against Karmine Corps here on their map choice. All of those issues we talked about, Mike, didn't really come through.
No, this was a clinical performance and actually back to basics for NAVI. What looked good was the coordination, the way they were able to structure some of these setups as well, particularly in the first half. There was an opportunity in the second set for Karmine Corps to really, I guess, maybe expose some of the weaknesses of a composition like this, but it just didn't happen. That felt like the story of momentum in the second half.
Yeah, very much so. And seeing a couple of those players activate, you're seeing Xiao doing really well, you're seeing